Welcome to another Paradise Parenting video, home of fun, kind, nurturing parenting. In this video, we're going to talk about why rear-facing car seats are best and also a review of the AXKID One. But before we get started, please do like and subscribe and turn the bell icon on so that you catch all of our latest videos. Now, I'm going to start with 5 reasons why rear-facing is best. Number 1, a child's head at 18 months old is 25% of their body weight compared to approximately 6, 7, 8% of an adult's head compared to an adult's body weight. And as the child gets older, still under the age of 5 years old, that percentage is still very high. So if you can imagine putting on a crash helmet and then strapping some bags of sugar or taping on some bags of sugar to your head, it must be very difficult even just to walk and sit down, let alone do anything else that they manage to do. So it's no wonder they keep falling over, bless them. What that means in terms of an accident is quite serious. It's very serious. I'll come back to that. Number 2, children have an immature skeleton. So children's immature skeletons mean that they have soft bones, and a human body does not have a fully formed and developed skeleton until the age of 15, which is amazing, really. So number 3 is the combined effect of having a very heavy head and an immature skeleton means that in a front-facing seat, in the event of an impact, body stays still and head travels forward, which has absolutely catastrophic consequences. Number 4, there are actually more leg injuries with front-facing seats than there are with rear-facing seats. Number 5, rear-facing seats cradle your child and keep your child's head, neck and spine aligned during impact. So they are so much safer. In fact, the chances or the risk of serious injury or worse in a front-facing seat is 40% and in a rear-facing seat is 8%. Rear-facing seats are 5 times safer, which is why I've done 5 points, because it's easier to remember. 5 times safer, 5 reasons why rear-facing is best. Now, I'm really up for my twins exploring and being adventurous and falling over and getting the odd scuff here and there. It's all part of childhood and all part of learning. However, travelling in a car at the speeds we travel at is a very unnatural thing to do. Now, I used to race all over the world. I've raced at the Nürburgring, I've raced at Le Mans, I've raced in European GT racing, and I always wore 5-point harnesses, crash helmet and a hands device. Now, what a hands device does is it stops the head from going forwards too much, which mitigates whiplash injuries. Now, children don't really get whiplash injuries. It is much, much worse than that for children. So safety in terms of high energy or very dangerous activities such as driving in a car, I am really, really hot on safety. I've been a road ambassador for many years and an ambassador for Smart Risk Charity, which is about taking risks but with the right equipment. So if you're going to go skateboarding, you put your helmet on, you put your knee pads on, etc. Whatever it is that you're doing, make sure you're dressed appropriately. And for travelling in the car, if you are under the age of 5 years old, then I believe it is our duty as parents to make sure that we are looking after our children as best as we possibly can. Now, some objections can include, well, it's uncomfortable for my child because their legs are bent. Well, actually, children sit cross-legged and their legs in the air, and bent legs most of the time when they're sitting down. That is a comfortable position for them. If you've got a seat that is uncomfortable for them, then you might want to check out the AXKID One, because you can actually move it backwards and forwards to accommodate more leg room so that it can be used for the taller young children and children under the age of 5. So their legs are bent, they're very, very comfortable, and it's much, much safer as well. Like I said before, point number 4, there are more leg injuries with front-facing seats, and that's because the children's legs fly out in the event of an impact, or they're resting them on the seat in front and they're out straight, which is the worst position that you really want to have your legs in the event of an impact. So we are now going to do a review of the AXKID One. AXKID One is the only ISOFIX rear-facing seat available which has been tested and approved to up to 23 kilograms, which is 125 centimetre, and aimed at children aged 0 to 7. It's got an extra side impact protection, and it's got the best legroom in class. So for all those little ones who do like a little bit of extra legroom, then you do have that with the AXKID One. And in terms of installation, it was very, very easy. I really like the beeping on the strut, the leg that sits on the floor.
If you have underfloor storage compartments in your car, you'll need to check with your car manufacturer regarding the support leg. However, most cars do have a solution, and you can also check with your AXKID retailer for more information.
Anyway, back to the AXKID One. I really, really like the fact that it's got that beeping so that you know you've installed that element of the seat correctly. And it's also numbered, and there's instructions on the side, and it comes with an instruction book. So really you can't go wrong. What did I not like about it? I actually found it quite difficult to loosen the belts at first, because I was pressing the little nozzle, where it's like a little sort of lever button, and I was pulling the belts, but there's actually a belt bit here and then a belt bit underneath, which is probably designed for comfort and extra safety. And what I needed to do was loosen it at the back and then pull it forwards. So it's one of those things that as soon as you know, and it's fine. I also found it a little bit fiddly to adjust to fit on the side impact protection. I got there in the end, and I have to say that it wouldn't be possible for it to be on both sides, probably, because it is designed for side impact. So whichever side the seat is on in the car, you need to make sure you put it on the side that's closest to the door. So you only really need to fit it once, so I don't think that's a big negative at all. And as for the adjustment of the seat belts, once I did adjust them, they're really free flowing. The seat is really, really good quality and really comfortable, and you can recline it as well for longer journeys. It's a really safe, well-built seat, so that's really reassuring. And in Sweden, most children, in fact, I think all children, travel rear-facing. It's just what's done over there. And the original inspiration for rear-facing was actually from the space rocket, where the rockets go up into the air. And if you can imagine the forces to propel that rocket up into the air, and the forces that were on the astronauts as they're going into the air, they're actually rear facing going up there. And that totally makes sense. And you might think, well, why is that needed in a normal everyday road car where we're not going rocket speeds? Well, what we need to think about is how heavy a child's head is compared with their body, and how soft their skeleton is and their neck. So actually, it could well be in line with the forces of an astronaut going into space. I don't know that for certain, but if I got a spreadsheet out and I did some calculations, I bet you it comes close. So not only does Sweden and many other studies and researchers and experts state that rear-facing is safer, there's also something on the NHS website, and I will read it out to you. It says the clinicians conclude that rear-facing seats are safer than forward-facing seats for children under 4 years old, and that parents and guardians should be advised to keep young children in rear-facing seats for as long as possible. That's it, I'm sold. And I must point out that these seats were gifted to us. We have not paid for them, and this video is sponsored, but I must also point out that I will only work with brands that fit with our core values. It's a really authentic way to operate. It's how I've always done things. It's very enjoyable, and I do feel really, really strongly about safety for our children, and rear facing is just one of those things. So if you feel the same way, please do comment below and share this video with everybody else who you think would benefit from hearing the messages of rear facing and how safe it is. It's great that Francesca and Alexander really like these seats. Not only are they as safe as they possibly can be, but they're also comfortable, and I cannot wait to go on more adventures with them. If you would like to buy the same seats, the AXKID One, then check out the link in the description box below. They may seem quite dear, however, A, you cannot put a price on your child's safety. B, when you buy your next car, just haggle a little bit more and get some more money off it. And C, if you divide the cost in your head over the course of 5 years or 6 or 7 years, however long you're going to use them for, then they actually become really, really quite cost effective. If you would like to see more of Francesca and Alexander and you're a little one, then go to YouTube Kids and check out Francesca and Alexander, one of each twins, where they have their very own YouTube channel. And please do comment below and share this video with as many people as you feel would benefit from hearing about how much safer rear facing is for our children under the age of 7.